Hey, 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 it's Karrington from K&K's Indie Gaming Corner. Just want to let you know, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all that juicy algorithm. It really helps us out. And if you're just sitting here watching, I really appreciate it. This is just a clip from our full episode, so feel free to share it with people that you might think might enjoy this clip as well. If you are interested in the full episode, I'll have the links in the description down below. Enjoy. Planet of Lana is from Wishfully Games. A young girl and her loyal friend, Mui, embark on a rescue mission through a colorful world full of cold machines and unfamiliar creatures. Planet of Lana is a cinematic puzzle adventure framed by an epic sci-fi saga that stretches across centuries and galaxies.
I need you to reread that, but pronounce Mui's name right in the voice of Lana. Or
Yeah, her name is Lana.
Hola!
If anyone's out there listening, I played the whole game on stream, and you heard me repeating "Hola, muy" the entire time.
Did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it
Nice.
yesterday.
Okay.
Let's hear it. I want to hear all things Planet Lana.
Okay,
Lay it on thick.
Planet of Lana. The art is some of the best art in a video game I've seen, I feel like, in a while. It's bright, it's wonderful. It feels like Inside with more detail in the way it looks. Because Inside had the person you play as, they had a face. They had a head. I don't remember a face per se. Lana at least has a face, but it has that same like almost hand-drawn oil art style. I think it's what that style is. I think
Borderline cell shaded, but not really. Yeah, watercolor definitely works. I like
watercolor. Yeah, watercolor is more what I'm looking for. And so yeah, you start off. You're on another planet. Lana lives in this fishing village. And it's never explained, but in the achievements it says sister. So her sister gets abducted by these machines, and her whole village does. And so you're on a quest to go save your sister. And you go through all kinds of different kinds of terrains. You know, there's lush forests, there's oceans, there's deserts, and eventually you go
the Mall of America.
Space and Mall of America. I forgot about Mall of America as I was going through it. That's what Kyle's like. It's Mall of America. I'm like, it is Mall of America.
Yeah, I watched Kyle hit that point on stream, and I was just like, "Oh, you're there! You're at the Mall of America."
It's longer than Inside, I will say that, but I feel like there are a lot of sequences that kind of remind me of Inside in the way that when you have to like run away from creatures or something like that, the timing that it takes to like code this has to be absolutely perfect. And I love those sequences. I love them so much. Like they never get old. It's stressful. It's fun. Are you going to make it? Are you not? I don't know. And if you don't make it, it's like, well, got to be like 0.1 second quicker. And I just love those moments. They never get old.
I'm curious because I've played probably about 2.5 hours of the game itself now. That style of game is so unique. I feel like it's a throwback to older 2D side-scrolling games, but it draws you in with its art and its soundtrack.
And voice acting.
Yes.
As simple as it is, there isn't a whole lot of lines, but
it does
enough. Yeah, exactly. It does enough to empower, invoke emotion in you.
I was gonna say, would you mind that might touch on this question here? Do you feel that it brought something new to the table for this genre, this style of game?
Yes. I feel like it brought something new since playing Silt. Because Silt is also like a 2D
it's very much
type thing, but that was underwater. Like with Planet of Lana, we've returned to being on land and going left to right again, left to right.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a way it does. I felt like the puzzles were a bit more simpler this time around compared to like Silt or Inside. But that's not a knock against it either, because it was longer.
I feel as though that also makes it more user friendly and approachable as well. As to if it's not a hardcore puzzle game. I'll even not that it's anything at all like Braid, but the puzzles in Braid made my head hurt
Yes.
extremely badly. And all in all, it was a very gratifying experience. But the fact that Planet of Lana does not like have headache-inducing puzzles, I think is more apt to get me to stick through it and play it all the way through the end because I don't want to chuck my controller out of frustration.
I almost think that would draw the player away from the game too if they put puzzles in this game that were
Absolutely.
too difficult. The game it shouldn't be known for difficult puzzles. It should be known for the puzzles in the game. But if you're at the point of wanting to throw your controller across the room, then I think you would definitely take away from the experience of POL.
And
So we're going with this POL.
POL. And something that I also have to give it to Planet of Lana, the difficulty curve is gradual, which I really liked a lot.
Yep.
So by the time you get to the end of the game, the puzzles are still much harder than compared to the beginning of the game, but not impossible for you to figure out. Like there are times where it looks complicated, but it is really just combining all of the
Information and pieces around you in the appropriate direction and or manner.
concepts. That's the word I was looking for. Concepts.
No, Philly. No,
I used way too many words there.
you were looking for one, not a whole paragraph.
Yeah, I went for square peg, round hole, and Karen's just like, no, it's just like bang, you're right there. The problem is you and your words.
English language, gotta love it. But yeah, the concepts it would combine like 3 or 4 by the end, as opposed to just giving you one concept over and over again, and then a new concept over and over again. By the end of the game, it combines them all in a wonderful experience that you just have to play for yourself.
Nice. Do you think it's better than Limbo or Inside, or I guess Silt? Now that you mentioned that, because I feel like those are the three. Those games are core to this style of game. I mean, I really feel like Planet of Lana pulled inspiration from those two games with the way the camera pans out and puts you in different environments, and the way that the soundtrack and the sound effects play into the game itself.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have went first.
Oh, there you go.
I'll harken all even back to, as I said on Gamerheads as well, to Flashback and Out of This World and things of that nature that this really draws inspiration from. Like, it's got that exact feeling to it. Personally, I like the atmosphere of Inside and Limbo a little bit more because I do like my games a little bit more horror-centric. But as far as, like, lightheartedness, even though it's not necessarily a lighthearted game goes, and as far as, like, overall general visual appeal, this one's head and shoulders above them. And that's not to take anything away from Inside or Limbo as well, because those are both visually outstanding as well. I don't know if I'd say that it's better than them. I'd say it's on par with them. I'd put all three of them kind of on that same tier level. As well as there was the one game that dealt with sound that I wish I could remember what the name of it is. Oxenfree.
Ding dong.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it also kind of has that Oxenfree, especially when you start dealing with some of the musical puzzles. It kind of really feels like Oxenfree as well, which is also an outstanding game.
Oxenfree 2 released
I think they should.
or
Did it really?
It's coming soon. Maybe it's in July. I believe it's July.
Okay. Well, that's what we said about baseball as well, but that's today.
Yeah.
So you and I have no concept of time, so it doesn't really matter.
Time doesn't exist. We don't. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to say any one of them are better than the other. They're all similar experiences, yet vastly different and unique enough that they all three of them need to be played.
Yeah. That's well worded. Karrington?
It's hard to say because Planet of Lana does feed you its storyline slowly throughout the game, so that way you have an idea of what happened and how we got here. Something like Limbo or Inside, it's more abstract. So
Super interpretive.
Yeah, exactly. Especially Inside. Inside.
Yeah.
So it did not scratch that itch of it being, or Planet of Lana did not scratch that itch of it being interpretive. But that's not a knock against it. It just puts it in a different space in my head, if that makes sense. To say, is it better than the other? I'll include Silt in there as well. To say it's better than the other three,
It's it's funny because those three are so specific. And Planet of Lana,
Yeah.
like those games are dark, gray, black, red,
Mhm.
and Planet of Lana is just beautiful and vibrant.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really hard because the art style, like it's.
Mhm.
I am more drawn to the art style of Planet of Lana than I am the other three. But again, that's not a knock against the other three either, because
No,
they're
not at all.
all
Yeah.
done so
No.
beautifully, and the music in them is all on all games wonderfully done. I would have to really.
I forget about how good the music in this game in Planet of Lana is until like
Mhm.
somebody brings up the music, and then all of a
Well,
sudden I'm
that's
just like, "That's right, it is so damn good."
I think the couple times that I streamed it, that was one of the things that somebody picked up that was watching. One of the three people that were watching picked it up.
And one thing I really love about Planet of Lana, like when it came to the music changed drastically, going from one, I don't know, one backdrop to another. Like when you're in the fishing village, it has a certain style. When you're in the jungle,
Mhm.
it's a different kind of style. When you're in the desert, it's another different kind of style. But it still fits the universe so well that you're not distracted. You're in awe of the music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's times that it almost feels borderline John Williams esque,
Mm-hmm.
like just with the
Yes.
and it's not even the huge orchestral fanfare, but just like the style and the presentation of how the music is done. It's just like,
Dude,
this is sexy.
you're preaching to the choir. The whole game reminds me of an offshoot of some Star Wars story. I don't just the running
Absolutely.
through, yeah. It's just
Well,
you
and
can tell.
I think I said to you at one point when you were streaming it too, like there were times that I was looking at Lana and I would get Lana confused with Padme.
Mhm.
Like just because of the white gown from the second
Yeah.
movie. Like it just kind of she had that feel to her and the way that she moved and the way that the animations were done. And I'm using my hands a lot when I talk right now. I don't know what's going on.
You're becoming one of us, one of us, one of us.
I'll buy you out too, son.
Oh boy.
You hit on something, Phil, that I completely forgot. The animation is so amazingly done.
Mhm.
My jaw dropped several times because even though the character designs are pretty simple, the animation just took everything to a whole nother level. The way the robots move that capture you, that are like almost like spiders kind of thing,
Mhm.
they move so distinctly from the creatures that lived on the planet, and it was just like,
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Well, going to the sound design too, like touching on that, there's one specific scene, kind of maybe an hour into the game, where you complete a puzzle, you go on a cliffside, the screen pans back, and you're standing there with your movie, uh, and there's a big floating alien machine in the background,
Yeah.
and all you hear is that horrific noise that it makes as it changes and flashes through different colors, and
Mhm.
like I remember that scene was in the demo, and I thought this game is going to be good. Just from that little, because it's just like the time and the dedication I was just put into that scene is just it's like I need to know more about what's going on in this world, and I want to see more of what this team again has created.
The exact scene that you're talking about reminded me of what was that other game that we played through probably 6 months to a year ago, where it was all sound based and you had controlled the little thing that like rolled around behind you, where everything was like bing boom, boom boom.
The Ding Dong XL.
No, you Jesus man.
Let me think here.
But it's same kind of a style of game where you're sitting inside of your house and your wife and your kid and you're watching TV and all of a
Oh,
sudden some big
Somerville.
thing comes Somerville. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that exact scene you're talking about reminded me of that because of the way
Yes.
that the music was used and some of the
Yep.
creatures in the game also do the exact same thing too.
Yeah, and that game was inspired by that was not made by Playdead.
Mm-mm.
That was
But it was another
it was-
wonderful.
yeah. Oh yeah, fantastic game. So, this is, I guess, directed more towards Carrington, but
Okay.
Phil, since you're our guest of honor tonight, and I guess I'll leave out the KK Indie Gaming Corner. Are these contenders for our game of the year?
As far as like an indie style game
This
goes,
this is putting aside. I'm not going to mention that game on Nintendo. This is putting aside all those big AAA games that have released. Yeah. Yes, I'm not going to mention it. As far as games that we've played, as far as indie titles, do you feel like these are strong contenders for an indie game of the year?
Yes, absolutely. Um, just simply because they bring something new to the table in their own respective genres. When it comes to Dredge and basically the fishing, combining it with a horror genre, just if you said the fishing genre, it just does something new with that, even, you know. And with Planet of Lana, it's still a new experience that you just have to go through yourself. That still does something new and unique, even though we're comparing it to games like Silt and Inside and Limbo, which are heavy hitters in their own right. If we're putting it on that level, that means it's doing something right.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree that they're both in contention of Indie Game of the Year. I'm intrigued to see anything else that comes to the plate that's got this kind of punch and power behind it. Where
it's still very early,
but it's not, man. We're halfway through the year.
Well, we still have another half of the year to go.
And
Not
we got
very
Lightyear
early.
So we got Lightyear Frontier ahead of us.
We're kind of early.
The hell is Lightyear Frontier?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, imagine
It's
Minecraft with robots instead of a person. You're in a robot.
God, why am I here?
You're in a giant mech. What more do you want? The giant
you
mech.
said the word Minecraft. Why am I here?
No, I agree.
Just a big bulbous.
It's a cyst.
No, it's not. It's a pod. I'm controlling it. I swear.
I agree. I think these both are potential game of the years, and I am excited to see the attention that they will continue to get for the rest of the year. And I'm hoping to see that we get, I think, more so a DLC with Dredge. I'd be interested to see if they could do some kind of DLC with Planet of Lana, but I don't know. I haven't finished the game, so I don't know what.
Carrington's face says no.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, yeah, man, all them aliens are dead. You won. There's no DLC coming. There's a prequel where all you do is you jump onto a boat and you fish. Oh, shucks. The prequel is actually Dredge. It turns out you were pulling up invaders from the bottom of the sea the entire time. You see how I caught myself from saying the S word? Huh?
I subconsciously thought that.
With all of that said, let's take a quick break before we get into future games and our gaming discussion. What do you expect from game reviews? Yeah.